What's going on, guys? This is Yasin, and today we're going to be going over YCS Merida, so the deck list that people used for the YCS, as well as my own tournament experience, because as you can clearly see, I managed to get second place at the event, playing my favorite deck, the best deck, Crystron. Of course, you already know it. And yeah, it's always a pleasure to be able to play this deck. Always super fun. Even when I'm not doing well, I'm still having a good time, you know? But I had a great time at YCS Merida, and huge shoutouts to everyone who I hanged out with, and you know, who I got to spend the whole weekend with. It was just, like I said, a fantastic experience. And also just, you know, the Mexicans and just everyone. It's just so freaking nice, man. Freaking love you guys. You guys are the best. But yeah, anyways, as you can clearly see, Dragon Tail was not a very popular deck in Top Cut. Even though we had like 7 in the top 3 too, which is a lot. Only one of them managed to get top 16. That was Pac. And then absolutely 0 managed to get top 8. And the reason for that is because Vanquish Soul saw a lot of play, and that deck translated way, way better. Like 100% of the Vanquish Souls in top 32 also managed to get top 16, and one of them even managed to get top 4, which was Julian Khan. He got 3rd place because he lost to James, and James beat me in the finals. But yeah, this was the event. I think we're not really missing any deck lists now, so the fact that I'm late actually ended up working out, you know, in your guys' favor. You just got like more, you know, accurate information. But yeah, before we go any further into these deck lists, friendly reminder, of course, to smash the like and subscribe button. It really motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these. Anyways, we're going to be going into James' deck list first, because he won the whole thing. So this is pretty much like a kind of like a standard Yami Mitsurugi deck, just with all the bricks, all the shitters, as we like to call them. So, you know, Kusanagi, Aramasa, Futsu, Great Purification in the main deck. So yeah, it's just more bricks, but at the same time, the engine is ultra powerful, and also the second copy of Mitsurugi Ritual, so that you can, you know, beat hand shops better, and you always have like another powerful card to search off of, you know, your ritual monsters when you use their effects to search. So it does make a lot of sense. I understand why it's there. And yeah, this is the kind of deck list where if you win the dice roll, like if you don't brick, you cannot lose. It's just that, again, you are playing more bricks, you're playing less starters. Well, it's not that you're playing less starters, but you're playing a bigger deck. So that's, I guess, the issue that some people would have. And we're still playing hand shops, you know, 3 Fua, 3 Ash, 3 Droll, 2 Imperms, citing the 3rd copy. And then, you know, playing Cross Out, Called By. Yeah, those cards are pretty nasty. The extra deck, I mean, I think one of the only flex spots would be like Gorgon of Zilophthonia. Some people are playing Starham. Not everybody's playing El Mirage and Link Spider. These cards are like semi, you know, semi-negotiable. It depends, I guess you can say. They're still pretty needed very often, though. Especially El Mirage, actually. I don't think that one's neglectable. Link Spider, maybe, I'm not sure. And then, yeah, for the side deck, I mean, I pretty much always see these exact same cards all the time. A Croaky is pretty popular as well in people's side decks. And, yeah, Double Cyclone, obviously. Every single Mitsurugi deck has to play, just because your power spell cards, they're not continuous or field spells, so if your opponent uses Dragon Tail Flame to negate, you can just chain Double Cyclone. You also get rid of their Horn or Sting, and also your card resolves. Anyways, then your opponent does not get to draw anything. So yeah, Double Cyclone is absolutely brutal against Dragon Tail, because without Retangsi and Double Cyclone, this is one of your worst matchups, unfortunately for you. Anyways, moving on to my own deck list, and I'm going to be going over my experience as well. So my deck list, I already showed it in my deck profile. It's pretty much nothing special. The only difference from last time is that instead of playing Forbidden Droplet, I'm now playing Imperm, so I'm playing 17 hand shops in the main deck. And then the whole engine is the exact same. I do like more copies of Chaotic Elements, but I don't want to play 1 Chaotic Elements with 18 hand shops, or 3 Chaotic Elements with 16 hand shops. So what I did is I basically just main deck 2 copies of Chaotic Elements and sided the 3rd. And I'm also citing, you know, more just powerful spell cards. Well, one-ofs that are easy to search or that are just, like, broken. You know, Called By Talender at 1. And then Clockwork Knight, easy to search. X-Forced Release, that's also easy to search. And I'm playing Jax, of course. Could also be playing Werewolf, but you can summon Jax on your opponent's turn with Hizuna and Lupus. Pretty good against Dragon Tail when they summon Heretic Seal. It's actually the best card to deal with it, because, you know, like a Valon wouldn't do anything against, obviously, a Heretic Seal. And Ripper wouldn't do anything because they just bounce it back, and then Ripper's no longer in the field, so that you have nothing to negate. So yeah, Jax in that instance is broken. And then yeah, the one Nibiru, just because I'm playing 6 Chummies, so I want to be able to draw into something off of my Chummies just in case they accept the challenge. That's never how it ended up being. I was actually just physically drawing Nibiru in my opening 5, and it was a great card because people were playing super hard into it. It's not even that Nibiru is supposed to be good, it's just that people don't think about it. I don't know why, but nobody was ever playing around Nibiru. And honestly, because of that, I'm actually kind of tempted to play more copies of Nibiru moving forward. But to be fair, that was also my experience. I did get lucky with people playing into it. Because against Dragon Tail, I mean, this card is one to three less cards in your side deck. And honestly, I didn't really have anything against Dragon Tail. I only had Retelling Sea, Called by, and Talent. So it's 5 cards, but I have a lot of cards to side out. I got the 3 Drolls that are useless, the Spell Canceller that is useless, and then the extra copies of Keys for K9, potentially extra copies of Chaotic Elements. So Dragon Tail can be technically a rough matchup, just in case you don't draw the right cards. So, again, I mean, I'm not really sure what I would change. I think for the most part, my deck list was very good. But, yeah, more copies of Nibiru, that would definitely be a possibility for sure. But, yeah, so I played this deck. I lost round 1, just in case you also were not aware. Hold on a second. I won the dice roll and I lost the match. So, game 1, I go first. I go normal summon Izuna effect. I get ashed. I go look at my hand. Pretty garbage. I go, sorry, it didn't go normal Izuna, normal Noroi, and then, yeah, I go Noroi, send itself to the graveyard, look at my opponent's hand, and then I have no more cards on the field, so my Fua that I drew going first is now live, and then I randomly survive on OTK, and then I make a comeback. Game 2, I go second against Purielmi with 0 hand trap, so I lose, and game 3, I go first. I again draw Noroi with 2 Izuna and 2 Ash. So it is a very good hand through pretty much almost every hand trap that you can think of, you know, Ash, Droll, Veiler, etc. Those kinds of hand traps, I would demolish them because, you know, if I get hit by a monster hand trap, Izuna can just recover. I can Ash it, Shun me, etc. But I get hit by Imperm on my Noroi. And then I got a pass turn, and my opponent normal summons a Yummy monster, and of course I have to scoop it up because none of my hand traps can stop an OTK from literally normal summoning any cat in the game. It's ridiculous, you know, normal summon Marshmallow is an OTK already. It is what it is, but yeah. Then I made a comeback after that. I won 13 rounds in a row, and then I finally lost in the finals. The finals, I won the dice roll. I went first. My opening hand was Joe Cool with Case, 2 copies of Droll, and then 1 Ash. I know my opponent plays Droll, and even if he didn't, I would still try to play around it as much as possible. So I go activate Case. I've got 2 options here. I can either search for Noroi or search for Izuna. I think in hindsight, maybe searching the Noroi would have made a little more sense, just because Noroi also gets hand knowledge in case I'm under Droll, because I can go Noroi, special Izuna, send Lupus, and then revive back Lupus, and then I can go Noroi, send the Izuna, and then make the Valon. It didn't matter. Hand knowledge absolutely did not matter because my opponent had a Marshmallow and a Lollipop, so of course I get Drolled. I end on Valon with, you know, the rest of my hand doesn't do anything. It's, you know, it's Droll and Ash against special summon Marshmallow, and then I book it, and then normal summon Lollipop, and we immediately go into game 2 because I cannot survive an OTK because I don't have any ways of defending myself. And then game 2, I go first. My hand is custom. I have Chaotic Elements with Solfador, and then, you know, Ash, Called by the Grave, and a second copy of Chaotic Elements. My Chaotic Elements resolves. On the resolution, I get trolled. I Called by it, and then I go Joku, reveal Solfador, Solfador effect. I get Ashed. And then on the resolution, I get Fuad, and then I Ash the Fua, and my opponent immediately scoops, and then we go into game 3. And into game 3, I go second. I got 4 engine cards and a Perulia, and my Perulia gets ashed. My only win condition is that my opponent's Zombie Vampire whiffs, and the Zombie Vampire didn't whiff, so I offered a handshake. It was a, like, 5-minute match. But yeah, there was no live stream or anything, but by the way, so just in case... nobody knows that there are never any live streams outside of the US and Europe. But yeah, it wouldn't have been like anything too exciting. It was like the 6 games that I played with James were just hand comparison all the time because I did play him on round 12. So it's actually really funny how I beat the YCS champion. Yeah, it doesn't happen every day, you know? Like I played like him on round 12 just to play him again in the finals of the YCS and then lose. So it does happen, but you know, it is what it is, like I said. Super happy that I was able to make it to the finals in the first place. It is a privilege. Yeah, I like this deck. Like I said, everything was needed. So just in case you want to go check out the deck profile with like more in-depth like reasoning, you can do that at any time. We're gonna be going into Julian's deck list now. I mean, the 2 Lupus, definitely very interesting. A lot of interesting things, actually. The Ghost Reaper as well, with the anti-spell Imperms. A lot of chummies, man. Freaking 9 chummies with 2 bestials. Very interesting. And then also playing Rhoda and Prosperity. A lot of people aren't even playing. Some people are cutting Reinforcement of the Army from Vanquish, so that's crazy. And also only two Naroi. He mentioned that he doesn't want to have too many normal summons. That makes a lot of sense. And yes, obviously playing the Skull Dread so that you can bridge from K9 to Vanquish. So I mean, the probability is very high. Like, you almost never whiff. And you also get hand knowledge, so it's not like you're linking off all of your resources just to lose the one Imperm. That's not gonna happen. Because if your opponent did have Imperm, he would have used it on the Naroi anyways. So you're never really risking anything by going to the Skull Dread. As we get. And also siding the Snow Devil, of course, you're now trying to main deck this card for more bricks. If you go first on game 1, I mean, your deck should be good enough, especially since you're main decking the X-Force release. And that card is pretty nice. And also, apparently, it's an MVP going second. And the extra deck in this deck is not as tight as in a deck like Crystron. So you can't afford to play Werewolf, Double Ripper, etc. You know, Tyrus, and all those cards. The whole Nash Knight package that I absolutely cannot afford to play in my deck. And also, there is no Masquerade package in here. It's Silent Honor Arc and Silent Honor Dark. Very interesting. Okay, I mean, it's technically a board breaker. You might be able to, like, actually hard make the Silent Honor Arc, you know? Using Raisin and Mad Love or 2 Mad Love. I mean, it can happen. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. Nicely done, Julian. And then for Philip's deck list, nothing too extraordinary. I mean, we're playing the Starham this time. It is a pretty nice card at allowing you to beat hand traps. And also allowing you to beat Tyrus. You can make a Herald on your opponent's end of main phase. So you have Herald and Mitsurugi Great Purification, so they can stop a, you know, an early Zeus on you, because that would actually be pretty terrifying. Apart from that, we've got some more interesting deck lists from top 8, and then also Christian Urena. So that was Malice, played by Miguel, so huge shoutouts to you. The Cyframe Gamma with Driver, of course. I wonder how many times he drew the Driver over the Gamma. I mean, apart from that, I mean, it's pretty standard. Thrust, DDG, okay. K9 Vanquish Soul from Sergio. I mean, also pretty... I mean, it actually looks very similar to, like, Julian's deck list, you know? Siding more Chummies with the Imperm, with the Snow Devil, but also this time siding Nibiru, okay, with Derek and B1, because Julian, I believe, did not play it. Yeah, he played Anti-Spell instead. Yummy, pure Yummy from Francisco, my boy. That's who I played in top 8. Thank God he didn't draw Gravekeeper's Inscription against me. He drew Forbidden Droplet, that doesn't matter, though. On game 3, imagine, because, I mean, he was respecting Izuna anyways, but yeah, Forbidden Droplet is one of the ways that you can afford to, like, not care too much. But yeah, Nibiru actually carried against him, it's crazy. And it's funny, he does main deck 2 and side 3, I mean, like, 0 side 1. Sorry, side 1, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's one of the most consistent decks, if not the most consistent deck in the game right now. 11, 15, 16 starters. Actually, maybe you can do more consistent. Yeah, there you go. And then it's not even citing more. So it's what, like 93.47% chance, I believe, of drawing one of your starters, which, you know, is good enough. All right. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. There is an obedience code, of course. Yeah, so 17 starters, which should be like a 94, maybe 0.89% chance. I forgot the exact numbers, but whatever. Who cares? Very consistent Yushin Brick, and you're playing like 18 non-engine or something insane. Like what, 9, 10... 16 hand traps with, oh my god, yeah, 20 non-engine. Woof. Okay. Yeah, half of the deck would be non-engine cards. There's even a world in which you can just replace these cards with more hand traps, but I don't know if you really need that, because those cards are broken against Dragon Tail. You can call by the grave a 5 mana, and then Forbidden Droplet to dodge, you know, Dragon Tail Flame and stuff like that. Even though Dragon Tail Flame is bad against the Yummy cards, yeah, it's Forbidden Droplet is still a good card, you know? It's still good. And then finally, Christian Urena's deck list. This is the last one from top 8. Nothing too special here. It's a 40-card deck with the shitters, which is insane. So the only difference between like this and James' deck list is that obviously it's 40 instead of 45. So we're playing one less copy of Lollipop. Lollipop, the reason why people play more than one is because going second, you can normal summon it and then shuffle back a Murakumo. So it's like a better board breaker than Cookie going second. But Cookie is better going first, because if you get hit by Nibiru, you can special summon the Cookie from your hand after that and then decrease the Nibiru's attack by 1,000, and then you can make another Cupsium way in defense, and then your opponent can't just go nib, run over it. So yeah, but when you're obviously playing only one copy of each, it doesn't change jack shit. Apart from that, yeah, everything is pretty standard. 9 hand traps, 3 droplets, so it's 12 non-engine. Going second, I think you're gonna have a rough time, but going first, you're gonna have, sorry, 13 on engine, but going first, you should have a very easy time, especially since this deck is more consistent, you know, you're playing less cards in your deck. Now, I can go into, like, the top 16 and, like, the more unique deck list, like this one, for example, right? That's gonna be fun. And also Blue Eyes. Those two decks, a little more enjoyable than looking at the same shit every single time, but obviously we had to go through the top 8 decks. So this was played by Angel, right? Shoutouts to you, I know who you are, absolute GOAT. He played Odeon Primite, there we go. I don't know why my brain stopped working. Angel Trumpeteer, I saw some people play Gemini Elf instead. I don't think it changes anything, but this is a tuner monster. So in theory, you theoretically could synchro summon for like Omega, even though that's not the real reason why Omega is there. Omega is there for the side frames, right? Because we're playing them since we need more hand traps anyways. Huge amount of hand traps in here, actually ridiculous. And also there is the Tyrus package. So if we want to include Lupus, actually we won't. But yeah, 4, 7, 10, 12, 15, 18, 21. More than half of the deck would be hand traps. That is insane. It's very easy for a deck like this to just brick only on hand traps. It can easily happen. And also it doesn't really feel like it has a real engine, right? It's just like you're playing good cards in your deck. I mean, yeah, you're playing cards that are just high value, right? But there's a lot of bad cards that you can draw. Like you can draw Lupus, Angel Trumpeteer, Driver. You can draw Drill Beam with no Primite starters. You can draw Apophis the Swamp Deity with no Apophis the Serpent. You can draw the side frames going first. That would be unfortunate. And then, you know, in terms of starters, you really don't have that many. It's 4, 7, 10, 11, bro, 11 starters. Yeah, it's a little rough. Yeah, you can't really consider Apophis the Serpent to be a starter, even though it is a disruption. Technically, it ends up being the same thing as drawing like a hand trap, right? You're really just interrupting your opponent once. And also, you're giving a huge heads up to your opponent, because you gotta go like standby phase, flip the Serpent, and then set your Apophis the Swamp Deity so that you can use it. But your opponent can just summon anything, run over it, and then play in main phase too, and then you don't even have the continuous trap so that you can use the Swamp Deity to negate something. So that's one of the issues that I have with a deck like this. It's really just like your opponent has a lot of opportunities to beat you, and like you have a lot of tough matchups, honestly, with a deck like this. Like Dragon Tail can be pretty rough, and also your opponent playing correctly can be pretty rough. But yeah, obviously when you draw well, this deck is completely cracked. Dominus Spiral in the side deck. I don't, like, nobody has really played this card since it came out, but yeah, it prevents you from using light and darks for the rest of the turn. But when you're playing both Dominus cards, it really just doesn't change anything. And then Songs of the Dominators. Yo, in a deck where you're playing infinite hand traps, and on top of that, you're playing Songs of the Dominators, you are a madman if you're doing that. But it does make sense. It does make sense for sure. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't even conflict with the K9s, because you're hand trapping your opponent, and then there's no rank 5 that even hits the board. Like, it prevents you from using monster effects only in the hand, grave, and banished. So yeah, you go for Izuna into Lupus into a rank 5, and then use Songs of the Dominators, and then you detach with your rank 5 in order to use the effect, like Valon, you know, Pop, or you make a Tyrus right away, and then Songs of the Dominators. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And then yeah, Verdict of Anubis, that's obviously the searchable, like Solemn Judgment in your archetype. Bro, this has to clog as well. Like every now and then you gotta like draw this with like pretty much nothing else. And still though, I mean, you can set some bullshit trap cards and then you can still negate with this card, so it's not like the end of the world, but whatever. And then Primite Blue Eyes by Victor. Shoutouts to you. 45 cards! Holy crap, yo! How many bricks are we playing? The Jet. Okay, it's off to a bad start. Yeah, obviously Roar, you need it. Mausoleum, you need it. And then Ultimate Fusion, that's not needed. So that's 4, 5, and then yeah, 6, 7. Oh, wait, hold on a sec. Only 7 bricks? Am I missing something? Because yeah, this is playing 2 more bricks than usual, right? I mean the Jet, the Ultimate Fusion, but yo, and the 2 Blue Eyes, yeah, obviously. So yeah, 9 bricks and 45. I don't know how I like that. Usually I like to do less bricks into a bigger deck, just so that, you know, I got an even better ratio, and then you can play more starters. But this is only playing 1 additional starter. It's not enough. It's only 1 Neo Kaiser Seahorse for 2 additional bricks that you don't really need. You don't really need the Blue Eyes Jet Dragon and the Ultimate Fusion. I mean, maybe right now it might be like better, but still, I wouldn't play those cards, honestly. And, you know, he got top 3 too, so it's still good for him. 3 Maiden of Void, 3 Sage with 3 barrels, so that's 10 starters with 3, 16 starters and 45. We're looking at like 92% chance, 91 something to draw one of your starters. So you're breaking more than 8% of your games without any of your opponent's input. So that doesn't take into account like the fact that your opponent could have like Ash for your one and only starter, or Purge, or, you know, Imperm on normal summon Sage effect and stuff like that. It doesn't account for any of that. So that's like one of the reasons why I want my deck to be as consistent as possible, like proactively speaking, and then also play just as few breaks as possible. But yeah, whatever. Still, nonetheless, I mean, you know, it's a good list for the most part. The extra deck, we're playing Crimson Dragon package. I mean, I like it. I like it a lot. I've always liked it. It just adds like so much gas to your end board and stuff like that. So that's cool. 2 Tyrant with 1 Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Interesting, with 1 Indigo Ice Silver Dragon. This looks like structure deck multiplied by 3 with some extra cards on it. And then, yeah, 3 Dragon's Mind. Yeah, this card had to be goated. Bestial Magnamut. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Some more Hand Traps. Lightning Storm. This card sucks. This card is not good. You're not supposed to play Lightning Storm either when you're playing Magnamut, Nibiru, and you know, just Hand Traps that can summon themselves. It does conflict. You just play Duster instead. Like, Lightning Storm isn't destroying monsters right now. Everybody's summoning everything in defense. Just like, I can't think of any deck where, like, the Rigeki is good against Yomi, but Lightning Storm isn't. Because, again, like, all their synchros can be in defense, or they can just tag out and then summon 2 monsters in def, so it just sucks. I don't really think we have any more relevant deck list. No, I mean, we can go into some Dragon Tail deck list, or, okay, yeah, Pyramid. I was gonna check it out, but, yeah, we don't have it, so, yeah, we're really just gonna check out this random deck list and then call it a day. Basically nothing relevant here. Oh, actually, yeah, 1 Dogmatic Ecclesia. That is interesting. Okay, so Titanic Lad actually does have something to special summon other than Fallen of Albaz on the end of the turn, end phase. And also there's 2 Fallen of Albaz. Very unique. Okay, so alright, it's not bad, it's not bad. Okay. And then yeah, you can search this on the end phase, but you can't use it again and you can't set it. That's a little, I mean, it doesn't change anything because Albion can set it anyways. So that's completely fine. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I said, I had a great experience at YCS Merida. Huge shouts to everyone that I encountered there. Shouts to you if you were there. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you guys very soon with another video. Peace.